Good morning. Welcome to the new session of probability sampling design. Last class, we have already discussed what is sampling, what is the need of sampling, how we do the sampling, and what are the different types of sampling. But in detail, we'll be starting today with the probability sampling. And in that, we will be studying regarding simple random sampling. What is exactly probability? So you have studied this in your first semester, that is statistical techniques, that random sampling or probability sampling is all about a chance which is going to happen. If I toss a coin, then either it might be head or it might be tail. Okay. So under this method, probability sampling method, every item of the universe has an equal chance of inclusion in the sample. So there will be an equality, whatever population we are going to study, that has to be included. It is so to say a lottery method in which individual units are picked up from the whole group, not deliberately, but by some mechanical process. For example, if you have 1,000 members, so what numbers you are going to select? 169, then directly 129. That will be the method of lottery. Or you have chits. So in that chits, you will picking up. Okay. So that also fall under the same method. So here it is blind chance alone that determines whether one item or other is selected. So either it will be selected or not be selected, but that is all about the blind chance. The results obtained from probability or random sampling can be measured in terms of the probability. So that is, we can measure the errors of estimation or the significance of result obtained from random sampling. We have seen our last class, so 95% will be the region which you are selecting, and 5% there will be obviously you are linear. So there will be an error of any study, especially when we are doing random sampling. And this fact bring out the superiority of random sampling design over the deliberate sampling design. So random sampling is that all about you have a huge population, so where you will be picking up. Okay. So random sampling ensure the law of statistical regularity, which states that if one and average the sample chosen is a random one, the sample will have the same composition and characteristics as the universe. So whoever we are selecting in the universe, so they have the same character and same composition. There is no any difference between the characteristics of the universe, whichever we are going to study about. So we think that we treat that every sample in random, whichever we are going to choose, that will be having the same characteristic. For example, if I say would like to study the employability ability of the technical students or MBA students in Karnataka. So here I cannot go for all the students who are doing MBA, but I will be choosing the random sampling by thinking that all MBA students are 2-year program and they have the same characteristics. So this is how I will be choosing the random one. So this is the reason why random sampling is considered as the best technique of selecting a representative sample. So in probability sample, that every member of population has a chance of being selected. So it is mainly used for quantitative research. So here you will not come across the qualitative research. It's all about talks is quantitative research. So if you want to produce results that are representative of the whole population, probability sampling techniques are the most valid choice, because here we will be having the same characteristics of the universe. And in this, we will be studying 4 types. One is the simple random sample, systematic sample, stratified sample, cluster sample. But today's class, we will be studying regarding the simple random sample. So what is exactly simple random sample? Before going to that, we will be seeing the steps which are included in this. The first is make a list. And second is assign a sequential number to whom we are going to do the simple random sample. Third is choose sample size. How much exactly you have decided. It depends on the formula which you are choosing. Out of 20 lakh, it might reach to 600. Out of 40 lakh, it might reach to 1300 by using the simple sampling formula. So if you don't know how to do that, you can go to the surveymonkey.com. You can visit there, and from there you can get the formula for choosing the sample design. Then in the fourth step, we will go for use random number generator. So random number generator is all about like picking up the how numbers we are going to choose it for the survey. So simple random sampling is defined as a sampling technique where every item in the population has even chance of and likelihood of being selected in the sample, because we are going through the lottery method. Okay, and we are generating the random numbers. So here the selection of item entirely depends on luck or probability. Either they will get the chance or someone else will they get the chance. So, and therefore, this sampling technique is also sometimes known as method of chances, because the population or universe which we are going to study is all about the chances, because we don't know whose number is going to come 69th item, 79th item, or 129th item, whom we are going to do the survey method. So simple random sampling is a fundamental sampling method and can easily be component of a more complex sampling method. So the main attribute of this sampling method is that every sample has the same probability of being chosen. It's not like that I will be choosing from one group 4 member and another group only 2 members. No, it will be that everyone will be having the same chance of being getting choose. The sample size in this sampling method should ideally be more than a few hundred so that simple random sampling can be applied appropriately. So the reason behind that, because if the population is huge, then only you can go for the random sampling. If it is less, then you can go you can do the survey for all the members. There will be not a problem. So it should be more than the few hundred. So they say that this method is theoretically simple to understand, but difficult to implement practically, because the population is huge and how you are going to do 129th member, that is totally depend on the researcher. Working with large sample size isn't an easy task, because it will be huge and it will be time spending, there will be energy included, there will be money included. And it can sometimes be a challenge to finding a realistic sampling frame also. Okay. So this is the problem, the some disadvantage where we face when we are going with the simple random sampling. So what are the methods we go for simple random sampling? So here, if you see the first one, they prepare a list of all the population members initially, and then each member is marked with a specific number. For example, ninth number, then they will numbered from 1 to n. Okay, 1 to ninth. So that is how they locate the number for whom they are going to do the survey. From this population, researchers choose random samples using two ways. Okay, the first is random number tables and random number generator. Nowadays, technology is huge. You can use it. You can generate the, using the software, you can generate the random number with the help of the software. Or else you can go with the table method. So researchers prefer a random number generator software because it's easily available, as no human interference is necessary to generate the samples. So there will be no error because system does not make any error. Not two approaches. So minimize any biases in the process of simple random sampling. First is the lottery method and second is the random numbers. So using lottery method is one of the oldest way. Okay, it's a traditional method and is a mechanical example of random sampling. So in this method, what we do, we give each number of the population. Okay, so number will be given to the population. So that all will be put in the box so that the draw will be taken and those people will be chosen as a lottery method. So next is use of random number. So use of random numbers is an alternative method that also involves numbering the population. So the use of number table similar to the one below can help with the sample technique. If you just look at this example, So you just see the random number, how they are framed: 1, 69, 24, 40, 68, 29, 39, 95, 60, 30. So these are all the random numbers, okay, which we have allotted for whom we are going to do the study. First, 69, 24, 13, 34. This is how the framing will be done to going for the simple random sampling. Now, examples of simple random sampling. If you take, there are random sample of 100 employees out of the 500 who are working in any organization. So first of all, what you have to do is make a list. So all employees working in the organization. So as mentioned above, there are total 500 employees in the organization. The record must contain 500 names also. You have to list down them. Then you have to assign a sequential number to it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 500. Then figure out what your sample size is going to be. So for example, so earlier stated that 100 employees, we are going to do the survey. That is simple random sample survey. So here use a random number generator. So to select the sample using your sampling frame or a population or inverse which you are going to study from step 2 and your sample size from step 3. So out of 500, you have to choose the 100. For example, if your sample size is 100 and your population is 500, so generate 100 random numbers between 1 and 500. You can go through the software also, or you can select the lottery method also. So whoever's number come till 100, total number of 100, so those will be selected for the simple random sampling, which is very easy to study. In research, how we use it? So today's market research projects are much larger, involve indefinite number of items, because if you want to study the customer satisfaction, customer perception, okay, service durability, how is the service performance of all the state or all the country, then it will be a huge population involved. It is practically impossible to study every member of the population's thought process and derive interference from the study, because the population is very huge here. So as a researcher, if you want to save your time and money also, energy also, simple random sampling is one of the best probability sampling method that you can use it. So getting data from sample is more advisable and practical, because you are choosing the random person and not whole population you are going to study about. So whether to use a census or a sample depends on a several factors. So it's all depends on the type of census we have, the degree of homogeneity, or we can say same characteristic they have, or whether they are heterogeneity. So when it comes to study regarding, for example, if you are oil manufacturer, if you want to edible oil manufacture, if you see every state in India uses different edible oil. They don't use the same edible oil because someone prefer the peanut, someone prefer the sunflower, someone prefer the what do you call the rice brand oil. So it depends on different oil, edible oil they use. So that there here it will become the heterogeneity. So how you are going to study, that will be the problem. So how much it is going to cost you, how much time it is going to be involved in your research, and what is the feasibility to study the process. So the degree of accuracy needed. So these are all questions arise when we are going for research. Now, what are the advantages of simple random sampling? So first is it is a fair method of sampling. Okay, and if applied approximately, it helps to reduce any bias involved compared to any other sampling method involved, because everyone is getting the equal chance, and the population which you are going to study, that is having the same characteristic. Since it involves a large sample frame, it is usually easy to pick a smaller sample size from the existing larger population. So they will denote the whole population which we are going to study, and they're having the same characteristic. The person conducting the research doesn't need to have prior knowledge of the data he or she is collecting. So no need to go for that, because no need to have a study some sample earlier, then go for the main research project. So here one can ask a question to gather the researcher needed to be subject expert. Prepare a questionnaire, then you can go on your project research. So this sampling method is a fundamental method of collecting the data. So you don't need any technical knowledge, okay, because very easy method. So you only require essential listening and recording skill, because whenever the respondent is responding, so you should have a communication skill over there. So they should provide you their own time and you should listen them. You have to draw the result out of it. Since the and recording skill, you should know what type of questionnaire method, open-ended, close-ended method. Obviously, open-ended method will be used, and what scale, whether you are going for Likert scale method, which method you are going to choose it. That is all depends on the researcher. Those skills are essential requirement. Since the population size is vast in this type of sampling method, there is no restriction on the sample size that the researcher need to create it. So from a larger population, you can get a small sample quite quickly. So that is easily available. You can do your research there. The data collected through this sampling method is well informed in advance. So more the samples, better is the quality of the data because you are studying most of the population. So this is all about today's class about simple random sampling, which is the type of probability sampling. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me.